UK Hun, today I'm going to be recapping the latest episode of Drag Race UK Season 7, The Hun Makeover. I've had enough. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Queens walk back into the workroom after Paige 3's elimination, and Bones says, despite almost going home, she still feels like a contender. So it's a new week in the workroom, and Katrin is still gutted at not having won a badge. At that moment, Rue enters the workroom and announces that for this week's Maxi Challenge, the Queens will be making over some celebrity Huns. This time, however, it's the Huns that get to pick their queens as partners. Michelle goes with Al Vosk, Diane picks Katrin Feelings, Charlotte selects Bones, Shobna goes with Selexa, Danny chooses Tyrus, leaving David with Bonnie and Clyde. As the queens prepare, Selexa takes it upon herself to make Shobna feel beautiful, who struggles to look in the mirror. It was actually really sweet, but it reminded me of Queer Eye, where it sort of became Selexa's mission to help Shobna love herself again. There was a little bit of a backhanded compliment in the walkthrough with Rue. Maybe I just read too much into it, but Rue tells Danny that Tyrus is finally stepping up her makeup, so she's in good hands. I mean, that didn't sound right to me. On Elimination Day, Selexa shares her coming out story. When she was 12, she shared a photo of herself wearing high heels on Facebook, and she was attacked and shamed for it by people of all ages. I'll never understand that, and I'm glad I don't understand that. On the main stage this evening, we have RuPaul wearing a classic gold gown, absolutely gorgeous. We have Michelle Visage looking like a pilgrim. We have Graham Norton, and extra special guest judge Mutia Buena. Did you guys notice in the opening credits, they said Alan Carr instead of Graham Norton? Category is Drag Family Resemblance, and I gave my top 2 to Bones and Blood. This was definitely the most elevated makeover look of the bunch. They had such great chemistry as well. I'm weak at the knees. So it's time for the judges' critiques, and no one is safe. First up is Al and Vanity Vosk. Michelle says the look, the hairstyle, and the fit is great, but it's giving more friend than family resemblance. Next is Katrin and Shirley Bassey. They are commended for their clever and funny idea. They did give an amazing performance. However, Katrin is clocked for not fitting Diane's look to her body. Now we have Bones and Blood. Michelle says they are giving an incestuous relationship, so still counts as family, right? Rue says they brought the drama. Now we have Selexa and Seduxa Diction. Michelle says it's her favorite paint of the night, and Seduxa actually outshone Selexa. The beauty was off the charts. I mean, even up close, you cannot deny this is a stunning makeover. Next, we have Tyrus and Daenerys. The height difference absolutely killed me. Tyrus is told that she helped her partner shine, and they both looked adorable. Michelle, however, says she does not see family resemblance. And she loves to make that comment every single season. Last but not least, we have Bonnie and Clyde and Mary Ann Joseph. And this was my least favorite look of the night. I'm so sorry. Michelle says it's sloppy, fit-wise and makeup-wise. They sold the performance, but the outfit was confusing. I like that they are male and female, but what's that got to do with robbing banks? In Untucked, Bones says it's so nice to be back in the competition. And I did say last week that I wondered if they kept her over Paige because of the makeover this week. And I was right. It was worth her sticking around. Back on the main stage, Bones wins the Maxi Challenge. She's now another 2-time badge winner. Selexa, Al, and Tyrus are made safe, leaving Katrin and Bonnie to lip-sync it out. And I do think this is completely fair. I agree with all the tops and bottoms this week. The lip-sync, however, the pair performed to Push the Button by the Sugar Babes. And I'm seeing a lot of discourse online that Bonnie did better than Katrin. But here are my honest thoughts. I don't think the lip-sync was very good from either of them. They also did very different things on equal footing. Katrin was more comedic and campy, and Bonnie was performing more. They both did fine. It was the same level of fine. Having said all that, because in my opinion they did equally fine, I thought the person with the better track record should have stayed, which is Bonnie. So it was pretty shocking to lose Bonnie after she had just won the Snatch Game last week, where Rue called it a masterclass. Now, I got a little bone to pick with y'all. I'm seeing online that people are saying this is the most criminal elimination run. And it is. It's heartbreaking. It's shocking. However, for me, personally, this did not start with Nyong Bella. This started with Viola. You all know that I love Viola so much. And her not being first here, look, I know she isn't everybody's cup of tea, so I get it. But if it were me, this picture would include her, and I would say that's where it started. And so, my friends, what did you think of this week's episode? Next week is the roast, and we get to see some of the eliminated contestants return, which will be nice. And I am wondering if, similar to last week where I said they kept Bones for the makeover instead of Paige, that they kept Katrin for the roast instead of Bonnie. And it's not that Bonnie can't do a roast, but there is a little bit of a storyline happening at the moment where Katrin is gunning for her first badge. So if they're trying to go down that route and fulfill that storyline, she will win the roast. And like I said, it seems like every single episode of this season they get something wrong. And this time it was the eliminated contestant. I wouldn't have sent Bonnie home, not with that track record. But what do you guys think? Did you agree with the judging choices? And who do you think won that lip sync? Give me all the tea, and I'll see you very soon for another recap.